The Buffett rule is a giant fraud, another huge hoax. And I'm going to show you the definitive proof here in just a moment. But first off, when you see ABC News, sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that he's part of, every Sunday with This Week, promoting for years the Buffett rule, make the rich pay money. Who do you think ABC News and mainline TV represents? The ultra-rich billionaires that own the shares in the private Federal Reserve and the private banks that have conquered Europe. This is the mega rich who openly say they want to destroy the middle class and make everybody dependent and poor. It's the ultra-rich throughout history that always want to destroy the middle class because it's not dependent on them. And liberty and freedom comes from that area. Warren Buffett made most of his money the last 4 years in banker bailout, taxpayer money. Derivatives he sold, garbage fraud he sold, like Bernie Madoff, being guaranteed by you and paid for. This is on record. I'm going to show you in a moment. The Washington Post today acts like it's a good report, but admits that, yeah, we like it, but it does let the super rich out of any new taxes. The ultra rich put their money in tax-free foundations and don't even really pay any taxes. And then they say, oh, we don't pay hardly any taxes, raise our taxes, but it's going to be on the middle class and people making a few $100,000 a year that actually buy things in the economy to then go into the planned government economy that can be given to them in banker bailouts. It is a total and complete fraud. Let me show you right here. There is the Washington Post today, and it's in association with Bloomberg. And if you scroll down right here, it says that the wealthiest have tactics that will still allow them to not pay more taxes. Yes, and then they'll get the profits out of the banker bailouts. So there is that report. How Buffett rule could still be escaped by highest earning households. Let's continue. Boom. McClatchy, very respected. Buffett, champion of bailout, is also leading beneficiary. Trillions going to foreign bank subsidiaries controlled by him and others. Trillions going to domestic groups of your tax money. That's why they want taxes raised. The big mega banks are all pushing, quote, austerity. Higher taxes in Europe, higher taxes here. Federal Reserve's calling for it today. Here's London Independent. What price the new democracy, which is a joke that it's not elected, where the bankers are installing their people, mainly Goldman Sachs execs, over the countries, in Greece, in Ireland, in the big ones, Italy with Monty. What price the new democracy, Goldman Sachs, conquers Europe through fraud. They sell fraud, have the governments back it, sign the public on, then have the corporate whore media tell you you owe the money that is actually their money, the people's money. So this is what's going on. And then I have another article down here where the Federal Reserve is saying we've got to raise taxes to pay off all of this debt. The bankers create the debt. They have the media say it's your debt and raise your taxes, cut your benefits. But now you're dependent, and half the public's dependent one way or another on a government paycheck or handout or government contracts. So we stay in the fraud. We stay in the game. They're openly announcing a bank of the world that you pay your carbon taxes to. It's the big banks behind Agenda 21, all the regulations. It's meant to shut down grassroots economies. They're banning garage sales. They're banning using cash in private sales in Louisiana. They're attacking Amish everywhere. People selling watermelons on the side of the road. I just saw where Homeland Security's buying giant wheeled tanks out of some movie. They're so huge. And armored pillboxes for the sides of the highways. And hundreds of millions of rounds of ammo and admitting preparing for war with us. We're being conquered by the bankers. They've bought both parties. It's the New World Order. It's the Federal Reserve. And Warren Buffett, up there with that corrupt Wall Street run White House, same folks that own Bush, saying get the rich using class warfare to sick the underclasses and blue-collar folks, in many cases that aren't informed, against what's left for the middle class. It's so sick, and it's hidden in plain view, and I've had enough. So, of course, the bought and paid for Congress is probably going to pass the Buffett rule to rip everybody off, and that money will all go to the offshore bankers and Warren Buffett. Totally sick. Warren Buffett got rich off being an insider with insider knowledge like Bernie Madoff and the rest of them. The Buffett rule is one of the biggest frauds in modern taxation history in America. And don't say you weren't told. Get the word out on this fraud. Like SOPA, we can beat it if you expose the fraud that it is. I'm Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com.